Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with the weekly comic roundup. We've started with a little bit of this week's Marvel books. Now it's to move on to, well, a few more. Kicking things off, we've got X-Men 92, House of 92. Where we left off, Jubilee, who, for the purpose of this story, is taking the place of Martin McTaggart, was in the clutches of, Beast, after having been resurrected after a suddenly botched resurrection. And Wolverine had just found him. So we begin. Also, the X-Men unveiled Asteroid X, which is where the issue begins, is on Asteroid X with Storm meeting with Empress Lilandra and as well as Gladiator, when Nimrod suddenly smashes through the wall and attacking the whole thing, insisting that the Shi'ar leave. The X-Men show up on the scene to deal with Nimrod. 34 seconds later, and most of the team is taken down, with Rogue dragging Jean through the gate to tell the Quiet Council what's happened. But Beast makes a suggestion of a more novel solution. Apparently, Sinister had a pet project called the Chimera program. And, it's Combo Man. Seriously. It's friggin' Combo Man. But Nimrod arrives on the island and is basically just wrecking house. Everything that was tried against the Tri-Sentinel was recorded, and weaknesses were found, and yeah. But Combo Man attacks and seems to turn the tide. There's some journal entries from Jubilee from her 10th life. But the X-Men arrive at Sinister's lab, where Jubilee is about to be experimented upon by Beast and his lackeys, Forearm and Sabretooth. The X-Men are told the truth about Jubilee, and turns out, though, that Beast had another idea of what to do with the Chimeras. Basically replacing world leaders with Chimeras awaiting Beast's signal. However, Nimrod reappears. A little bit worse for wear. It happens when you get teleported into the sun. But Nimrod's appearance does lead to Jubilee's death, and The idea being that perhaps the Phoenix Force can be used to jumpstart um, Jubilee's resurrection powers one final time. And it works. With the last page being Jubilee playing the X-Men arcade game as Sentinels attack. And that is where the series ends. This is a fun reimagining of basically the entire Hickman run. Great stuff. I loved it. Also, nice little nods to 90s comics in general. Those really kind of drove things home, in my opinion, with the series as a whole. Anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Daredevil number 3. Where we left off, Daredevil was questioning things, and apparently his friend Goldie revealed to be something a bit more than a mere mortal, and had seemingly been pulling the strings, leading all of the bad things that have happened to Matt Murdock over the years. So we begin with Daredevil meeting with Luke Cage, actually no, not with Luke Cage, with a NYPD detective in an attempt to recruit him into the Fist. Daredevil states that being able to hear, man's heartbeat, yeah, he's it. Then he goes. Matt then goes to talk to Luke Cage, also with the intention of recruiting him. But Mayor Cage has a meeting with Quinn and Una Stromwin, the couple who managed to put Wilson Fisk in power. But they make it clear that any law they don't like, it will be struck down. Who has put his they made the mistake of not stressing with Fisk how powerful they truly are. Stating that if a law doesn't suit them, they'll just change it. And if Cage gets in their way, but before that can be finished, he cuts them off, explaining that more per saying, yeah, that ain't gonna work. But he first makes it an enemy of the Stromwins, and but Daredevil's presence has been detected. He deals with the Stromwin security before leaving, and then runs into Elektra's old mentor from the Hand, Aka. While the two fight, Aka informs him of the identity of the Hand's new High Slayer, Frank Castle. But Matt swings over to Foggy's, passes it, and first insists on taking Foggy with him when they leave because Foggy wouldn't be safe for a myriad of things. And that is where the issue ends. things are definitely are starting off on an interesting beat. I think it kind of helps already having the setup of Jason Aaron's Punisher series going on at the same time, having started a few months previously. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Midnight Suns #1. So this is a kind of lead-in to the upcoming video game Midnight Suns. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, at Strange Academy, all of the students and the professors have a vision of an apocalypse level event focusing around student Zoe Laveau. However, things start off with a woman named Mary Beth Zoric, who does a degree of magic, being threatened by some locals in her town. They don't like, they don't like the fact that she apparently can do magic. So, but yeah, there's a vision, an apocalyptic vision. Shown in the vision are, aside from those apps, are Spirit Rider Kushala, Wolverine, Blade, Magic, Nico, Nico Minoru, Sister Grimm. And Zoe, all zombied out. But, Kushala has the vision, though she's not to the academy. Magic goes to grab Wolverine. He's like, hey, had a vision, you were in it, so let's go. Doom has had the vision as well. But one of the students basically gives him a fear to try and give Zoe to the headmaster. When shadow creatures attack the school, gathered heroes deal with them as Kushala arrives. Agatha Harkness leaves with Zoe. And plans are made, and Nico explains that they're based on the vision. They're on a clock, 3 days, and for one final surprise, Doom arrives demanding that the girl be turned over to him, and that is where the issue ends. It's all right, the game was not one that was high up on my list to get. I mean, eventually, sure, once it gets a bit cheaper, or if a complete edition comes out, sure, but not new. It doesn't look worth the new video game price. And the comic so far hasn't done anything to change that opinion. Moving on to our next book, we've got Predator #2. Where we left off, Theta's ship was... The lack of maintenance on Theta's ship has caught up with the rest of the ship, and it appears to be crashing into planet Tuscan. The ship makes a bit of a rough landing, and Theta goes out to get necessary repair supplies as well as food. She kills a native animal for sustenance. has a nightmare of her mother turning into a Yautja, and asking why she left, and said they that she killed her. A couple of raiders show up attacking Theta, but she fights back, and she gets explained that these raiders, the hoverbike that they're using, they got from the facility. It's abandoned now. There's no one there. So Theta goes to check it out, and it made clear a Yautja showed up and decided that that was a good place to hunt. Checking security footage, she notices something interesting about the predator that was there. Apparently, it has her axe, which she realizes as the Yautja sneaks up behind her, and that is where the issue ends. It's a good second issue. The timeline portion also gives us a year as to when this takes place, 2056, so it takes us before the events of Marvel's Alien book. But, the Predator book is starting out strong, and hey, so did Alien. I think I was fairly clear in the fact that I think that the initial Alien series from Marvel, the only downside was the art, so, yeah. Moving on to our next book, we've got Star Wars Bounty Hunters, number 27. Where we left off, Losha and Tonga had been offered a job with Crimson Dawn, and we learned that they did not take it. So they're on their way to the job, which is to they're providing a Pike crime lord has severely messing things up for his rivals, and he's celebrating this. In case for those might be wondering what I mean by the Pikes. The Pikes are I want to say, fish adjacent race. They appeared in Book of Boba Fett. They were the overall villains. But they're supposed to protect this crime lord while he's celebrating at the accretion disco, which orbits a black hole. Pike's people are, they're not welcoming. They're condescending and douchey towards our bounty hunter crew. On the Star Destroyer Righteous Fist, Balance is thinking about various things. He's approached by a general who claims to be the hero of Hoth, having served under General Veers. However, while talking with the general, Valance runs back to his handler's quarters, where he decides he's willing to give it to her advances from the previous issue. At the Pike celebration, things seem to be going well until a group of assassins shows up and attacks. So our bounty hunters we're involved in a firefight. The Pike in question is who's hired them is run to safety by Tassin Leech, and they run into additional. Leech runs into some more of the assailants from Narkanji, and after a while, Tonga comes upon Tassu standing over the dead body of the Pike in question. And that is where the issue ends. I've been enjoying the Bounty Hunter series since I started reading it. Likely going to try to and may have to do some digging back on previous issues, or at least in trade. So, moving on to our last week for the moment, we've got Obi-Wan number 5. The storm rages outside. Has been raging outside of Obi-Wan's hut on Tatooine, as he reflects on his past. This issue, however, as we begin, it shows the storm has passed. At the Imperial garrison, I believe in either Mos Espa or Mos Eisley, some ration containers have been stolen, apparently by Tusken raiders. The garrison commander sends a squad of stormtroopers out after the Tuskens. While the entire encampment exterminated. Obi-Wan, meanwhile, is leaving his hut to get in touch with the Jawas and trade for batteries for his various devices. The stormtroopers, however, walk into a trap, and Obi-Wan heard the blaster bolts as well as the Tusken shouts, and then sees a group of Tuskens come by with Imperial blaster rifles. And so, Obi-Wan goes to investigate the scene, see if maybe there's something he can snag. There are. He managed to get some Imperial-grade power cells, so he no longer has to trade with the Jawas. But one of the stormtroopers isn't dead. So, Obi-Wan takes him back to his home, and 3 days later, the young trooper wakes up. Obi-Wan tries to is cordial to the young man, but dude's just like, nah, he believes he somewhat believes in propaganda, and so the kid runs away, gets back to the garrison, and has the blame for the master of the squad placed solely on him. That is where the series ends. This is an interesting miniseries. I like them fleshing out various bits of Obi-Wan's past. Yeah, it does also seem to feel like it. Like it was designed to work with the premise of the recent Disney Plus miniseries. But anyway, that is going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal account in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.